Class is a blueprint. Blueprint or plan or template to create an object. So this is class. So suppose house, as already told you about house. If we take house plan, then with that plan we can build a house. House is an object and house plan is a class. So with the help of class we can build as many number of objects. So that is class. Object is instance of a class. Is an instance of a class. I'll tell you instance of a class. So when I give examples, you'll come to know very well. So if we take a bicycle, if we take bicycle as a class, so we have different types of bicycles. More like gear one, hero cycle, like different kinds of, right? That will becomes as an objects. Okay, if we take pen and different types of pens, that will become as an object. Pen become class, then different types of pens will become an object. So like that. So if we are creating any template or any plan, by using that plan, if we are creating any objects, that objects, if we are creating anything, then that will call it as an object. So I think you are clear about class and object. No?
Yes, yes.
So few.
Yes.
Okay. So a few points you need to remember about class and object. The definition of a class, if someone asks you what is meant by class and object, you need to tell about this. Class is a blueprint, a plan or template to create an object. Object is an instance of a class. So you need to remember few more points. In class we can't in class does not allocate any memory. So class doesn't allocate any memory when created. Okay, does not allocate any memory when it's created, but objects creates memory. Object will be allocated memory when it's created. So if you create a class, there will be no memory allocation happens to any variables that we are using here. But when we are creating an object, that time whatever the variables that we have created in the class will be allocated a memory. Okay, and it's a class, so it's a logical entity. Class is a logical entity because just it's a logic, right? So just we are creating a plan. It's an assumption. It's an assumption. So it's not a physical entity. So that's why we are calling it as a logical. Just by our assumption, we are creating a logic. We are creating a plan. So that's why we are saying logical entity. Class is a logical entity, but object is a physical entity. So if we take person is a logical, because person may be female or male, right? Different types of people. So person is normal general term. Plan is a general term. So that's why we are calling logical entity. But physical entity. So Raja is a person. So Raja is physical entity, but person is a class. So logical entity. That way we can differentiate. So and few more points. So class is declared by using a class keyword, right? We already used class so many times. Class is declared using class keyword, right? Whenever we have written the program, we have used class name, right? So if you see here, we have written a lot of programs, but we have used class, and this is the class name. So we already started using the class, but we didn't discuss much about the class. So that's why we want to discuss about the class and object before we deep dive into OOPS concepts. So object, how you are going to create an object? I already told about this.
Class.object.
Created by using new keyword, right? So class name object is equal to new class name. This way we create an object. Okay, this is the way of creating an object using the class name. So that's why object is an instance of a class. Okay, by using class we are creating an object. That's why we are calling it as object is an instance of a class. This in the definition also, class is a blueprint or plan or template to create an object. So here by seeing this, you can say that we are creating an object by using a class, right? Class name. So we are using keyword to create an object. Understood? No? Sir, no. Class is a group of identical elements. So example, animals. Animals is a general term, right? Animals, again, we have different types of animals, right? So different types of animals, we'll call it as a group of identical elements, right? So like cat, dog, horse, like that, different animals. Cat, dog, horse, these will become objects, right, of animals. Animals, if we take animals as a class, then cat, dog, horse, these will become an objects, right? Objects of animals, right?
Yes.
Sunita garu?
ఎస్ అండి. అంటే నాది మధ్యలో పూర్ కనెక్షన్ వస్తుంది. అందుకని నేను రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వలేకపోతున్నాను.
Okay. Shravya? Okay. So object is a specific entity. So how I'm saying object is a specific entity? Because dog is a specific entity, right? Dog is a specific entity. Horse is a specific entity. Cat is a specific entity. So class, when it comes to class, it's a group of identical elements. But when it comes to object, each element is an object, right? Cat is an object, horse is an object. What is cat, horse, dog is an object. So that will become a specific entity. Okay. Class can be declared only once. Declared only once. But methods, but methods can have n number of objects. A class can have any number of objects. That we'll come to know once we start using a class and object. Okay. A class can have any number of objects, any number of objects. So this is about the class and object. So you need to remember these points. If someone asks you about what is mean by class and object, you need to tell about these points. So class is a blueprint, or plan, or template to create an object. Class doesn't allocate any memory when created. It's a logical entity. It is declared using class keyword. Class is a group of identical elements. Class can be declared only once. Object is an instance of a class. Allocated memory when it's created. It is a physical entity created by using new keyword. Object is a specific entity. Class can have any number of objects. So this is about class and object. So any doubts up to here?
No.
So here class object can be created by using a class name. Class name object is equal to new class name. So if you want to call any of the method that we have written in the class, then we use object dot. We use dot. Okay, that's Savia has told previously when I asked about how to create an object. Okay, so object dot, we are going to call that method. If we have written any